want to get put in the corner.
Oh, no.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Oh, look at it roll. Now we can watch Jackie Gleason while we eat. Holy Testicle Tuesday.
Gleason
was the most
nice
important
today.
day of your life. But for me,
It was
Tuesday.
You believe it when you see it. You just won't believe what you saw.
Fact check true, Loki.
The Adventures of Baron Münchhausen, a true story.
This is precisely the sort of thing that no one ever believed.
Rated PG.
See this fun-filled movie this week at a theater in one of these communities.
Boy,
Thank
do I
you.
have a surprise for you.
You're welcome.
Oh. This should be interesting. Can I be the shark?
You aren't the shark? I'm confused.
Cool. I get to be the shark.
I mean, of the three of us, it'd make you the shark.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. That could be you, Pops. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Maybe. It'd be Ironcaster. No. Yeah, Ironcaster's
the boat.
He'd be Roy Scheider. It'd be Squeeka and I trying to figure out. I'm probably more Quint. She'd be the one that'd be like, all right, I'll go down in the cage. Why not?
20 Lokis went into the water. Only 2 came back out.
Now I have to watch Jaws. I have no idea who these people
Oh, we
are.
got a special thing for Jaws. So.
You gotta go back and rewatch it.
All right. Here we are. Talk Hard Tuesday. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Had a good week. Hope you're buckled in. You're ready for a crazy one indeed. That's right. The Adventures of Baron Münchhausen. If you are not familiar with this movie, I'm not even sure the words that we are going to have will be able to do it justice. This is from the mind and the creation of Terry Gilliam. If you're familiar with Time Bandits, Brazil, Fisher King, the Monty Python lore, that type of stuff, this is where Terry Gilliam's background comes from. This is an adaptation of some Russian tall tales, shall we say. A German writer kind of penned it all down based on a real guy. Basically, I don't know, he liked to embellish, shall we say. And then he kind of interwove that with some modern commentary and also some social commentary that's very interesting and also strange. And then on top of that, you have all this crazy drama about how this movie actually got made and all the stuff that went on with the studio and Robin Williams people and stuff like that. So we have a lot to talk about and take apart. So with me, as always, these wonderful folks. They're in the house. They're ready to go. They're excited as much as you are, I'm sure. So, Ironcaster, my friend, what's going on?
Well, my friends, you see, it's been a rather long day. You see, I've just got back from the moon.
The rope was long enough?
No, of course not. But you see, quite fortunately, we were able to hack off the very top of it and bring it back down to the bottom to tie off and extend the rope.
Of course. That makes sense. Perfect sense. All right. All right. Let's Squeeka. This is a one that came from, I believe it was I'm blaming you, crediting you, however you want to take that.
I'll take it.
It's from the odd, quirky library of favorites from the old Squeeka Mouse folks. So, yeah, how you doing, lady? What's going on?
Doing all right. I love this movie. I probably watch it at least once a year. It's silly. This and Time Bandits. I haven't watched any of the others by Terry Gilliam, but I mean, I think it's hilarious. I think it's just so silly. But yeah, I'll go to the corner for this one.
No, I mean, so it's we'll just talk about it. And I do think this is one where, and I have to be honest, I was shocked that Loki had never seen it. So that's fine, and I totally get that. Loki, it had to be one of the weird ones that you may have seen the box for or anything like that. Do you like the Monty Python stuff? Where you come down on some of that kind of stuff?
I like Holy Grail. Some of their stuff, not so much. Like I said last week, I am not like a, I'm not a huge British comedy. I'm not. I fail to see a lot of the humor in it, but some of it I go nuts over. I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. Now, granted, I put almost all of that away when he passed away. When what happened happened,
Right.
absolutely broke my heart. I loved him. I loved him in everything I ever saw him in. Almost every movie he was in was at least a 1 year watch for me because he got me through a lot of tough stuff when I was going through my leg being broken. Again, later in life when I was going through my motorcycle accident, I loved Robin Williams, and that killed me when that happened. Needless to say, even loving Robin Williams that much, I had never even heard of this movie. And when I found out, he himself was like, yeah, don't put my name in this because I don't want you whoring me out to make the movie popular or something. I was like, that is not Robin Williams. Robin Williams is the guy that goes out and gets like a homeless guy outside the studio and brings him in to be a part of the movie. He was one of the kindest people in Hollywood. He loved everybody. So for him, of all people, to be like, yeah, don't put my name on the box. Do not put me in advertisements. And they did very little. You see like his head spinning around in that trailer, but he doesn't say anything. You can't even really tell it's Robin Williams. So he would never do something like that. The fact that he did with this movie, I was like, wow, don't use my name. His agents had to get involved and be like, do not use his name, do not use his likeness on the box. I'm just
So
blown away completely that I've never heard of this from anybody.
He wasn't even
so let
paid
me
either.
He
that-
probably wasn't. He probably didn't take a check. He just did it because he was such a good guy.
my understanding is that it wasn't really him saying no, he wouldn't do it as much as it was they couldn't get the deal done because of how the studio was the studio is in disarray, right? So the studio is a complete mess. We're post Good Morning Vietnam. He did a kind of a bomb that's in the middle of this that they kind of like didn't really have his name on. It was like a TV movie that he had like an appearance in or something. So they were trying to figure out because the Post Society hadn't come out yet. And they were basically like, they didn't really want him tied up with some weird Terry Gilliam thing because Terry Gilliam was not well received and loved by the new studio head. Like, so the studio itself shifted hands. They made a huge mistake. At the time, Columbia was controlled a lot more by Coca-Cola, and all sorts of people made all sorts of stupid decisions because they were trying to do like lowball movies. So they're trying to do like 25 movies for like, $250 million. So like these budgets were like really going to be low. They brought in this British guy and it turned into a complete debacle of mess. Ishtar was everybody knows how bad Ishtar turned out to be. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. So this had already been green. It was already done. It was already set, and the budget's already inflating. People that were backing it are already out because obviously the British ties are there. And you had people going, no, we're not going to do anything to help Terry Gilliam in his film. So that's how animosity. So I don't know how much Robin Williams himself said, I don't want my name. It was part of the deal and all the breakdown of everything that was happening in and around this film. And Terry Gilliam's got interviews. You can even see them some of them on YouTube, but he'll talk about, we had a deal. They were like flying in like pieces of sets and different things that were moving around the world from when they were filming in Spain versus filming over here. And people were just milking it. So this was supposed to cost $1,000. They were trying to build them for 10. They were saying this is going to cost $1 million. They're trying to tell them it's going to cost $5. It was just everything turned into a complete and utter debacle. Absolute insane. So yeah, it'll be a fun time to talk about it. It is a crazy movie. And yeah, his name is not on it. A lot of people don't know it's even him. Like you say, there's only a couple of the trailers that have a little glimpse of his head spinning around. You don't get the actual Robin Williams parts in any of the footage in the teasers that I'm aware of. So yeah, a lot of craziness going on. So let's say hello to Snorty. Hello, holding the door open for everybody. Snorty, how are you doing, you wonderful polar bear? Hope things are going okay. Thank you for being here. And this lovely mouse is in the house. Great to see her. And it's interesting. I said all along I was happy this got picked because I had not watched it in a long time. So Nothing like a little Munchausen to bring the weirdness into your life. Indeed. If anything else, as everyone can admit, this movie is weird. Fair enough.
Oh yeah,
Loki be the
I'll admit that it is weird.
he can he might be a little bit.
And I get the imagination thing. I get where he's going with it. I
Well, it's based on this guy. So this is the actual guy, and I guess this German writer started writing down his sort of like exaggeration of different events that were happening during like the Russian Turkish wars from back in the day, and it becomes sort of like a little folklore. It could become like a little fairy tale type of stuff. So yeah. Alice credits to the moon. Well, I got to make my Jackie Gleason. I don't know if we've explained enough Jackie Gleason backstory to know why it's so important to the Pop channel now, but yeah, we'll get to it at some point. Claude, you're there. Great to see you. Great to see you, my friend. And Life of Brian. Life of Brian's good. I don't know if British humor is not your thing though. Monty Python can be a take or leave it. It definitely can be tricky, and Terry Gilliam stuff can be really hard to handle if you're not into British humor and stuff. So.
I like Time Bandits, so you would think I would like this. I
don't know. Ironcaster, how do you feel about? When did you see Baron Münchhausen? How did you end up in the Baron Münchhausen camp? I don't know. Give us a little background here.
Well, for myself, I think I first stumbled upon this movie about a decade ago. It was of all times like a couple of
wait. You've been alive that long?
Oh yes, of course. This was after I was, of course, plucked from the ground. For you see, I grow from the ground much like a rutabaga and other root vegetables. But this was a movie I had come across about a decade ago, like right after Robin Williams had passed away, and I just sort of stumbled upon it. Like, yeah, this movie looks silly enough, and I went into it having had no idea he was even in the movie. And, well, surprise, surprise, I come to find out that he was very much in the film.
All right. I was surprised that this came out of the mind and the pics from the old mouse herself, who has talked about how much she loves this movie. And this is just something you saw back in the day and you've always had an affinity for? How did you come to love the old Baron? Squeaks.
Sorry, I connected and disconnected my headphones for a second, and I was like, "What's going on?" Well, I watched Time Bandits. I just my nerdy group of friends who watch Time Bandits, and then there's like, "Oh, there's this one." Like, I don't know. It was just part of that whole Life of Brian, Time Bandits, like that whole set, and we just kind of watched all of these types of movies, and I've loved it ever since because it's just silly. But yeah, it was just back in the day, the early 1700s or something.
Well, the thing is actually with that in mind, it's sort of a soft trilogy of these films between Time Bandits Brazil, and Baron Münchhausen. They're each supposed to kind of supposedly reflect the stages of life for a person. And this is that end stone of a man at the end of his life.
He calls it the trilogy of imagination, with this one, Brazil, and Baron Münchhausen. Now, the problem I think he has with that is that the tone of those movies are so radically different from one another. It's hard to thread them together. So, like Loki, I love Time Bandits. I don't know how I feel about Brazil. I really need to watch it again. It is so much more of a dark and edgy, and again, weird, quirky version of like a 1984. So it's just so different. And then this one feels like never-ending story on some LSD. You know what I mean? It's just got so many odd variables that you have to factor into it. It's hard to imagine that he sees them that way. But you get Time Bandits, which is more like through the eyes of the child. You have the middle-aged person. Jonathan Pryce plays the lead in Brazil. And then, of course, you have this one with the elderly character played by John Neville. And I get it to a certain extent. And I get the commentary that is in overarching all of them is, trying to deal with the harsh realities and deal with life and kind of all that. And, we lose sort of our love of fun and imagination. And we get this a little bit with the Princess Bride movie too. Like, it really does tap into something in our inner child. And this movie is doing that for some folks. Maybe it doesn't hit for everybody, but it definitely does that for some folks. And I don't even know how to Okay, I can't do it, Nas. I can't do Ernest Ferratu. Ernest Ferratu. Nas, you're killing me, man. You're just killing me, man. That's something else, man. That's just something else. So, all right. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, folks, if you've never seen this, it starts with just sort of this nameless war battle, a group battling and losing against these Turks. They're hosting a play, which is interesting commentary of like when you're in the middle of a war and how do you survive and deal with some of that kind of stuff. It is about Baron Münchhausen and his adventures. The play is playing out with all of these like fantastical little stage things that are happening and all going wrong. It's all blunder. And then in walks the real Baron Münchhausen, allegedly, and then just starts trying to tell his story. And you have a series of flashbacks of adventure that take him through these different things with this cast of characters who are definitely interesting, if nothing else. So before I go to Lady Mist, how are you, lady? Hope you're doing all right. Good to see you. Good to see you. Said I always enjoyed this movie. It's just plain fun to watch. Yeah. So, with the premise, the way I described it, hold on, see the Avatar rule. Yeah, I know the Avatar something. I know you do amuse. I mean, I'm not not saying I'm not enjoying it. So, with the setup, Loki, I mean, what was your anticipation going into this movie? Had you not heard of this one? I don't remember what you told me. We talked briefly, but I don't remember what you told me.
No, I'd never heard of this. Watched it today. I even called Pops and I was like, "Are you sure you want me today?" Considering that I'm like, "What the hell did I just watch?" I'd never seen this. I'd never even heard about it before. I may have seen the box and just walked past it and had no idea. The one thing I was like, "Holy crap, is that who I think it is?" was Uma Thurman. A very young, in her 20s Uma Thurman is in this and absolutely kills it. So
it was her first role.
It was, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Actually,
as Venus or Aphrodite, whichever way you want to throw it.
So actually, I will correct you, Ironcaster, because I had to look it up yourself. I thought, is this before Dangerous Liaison? So it's the same summer. That's the first time I remember seeing her was in Dangerous Liaisons. And then come to find out, there's a movie called Kiss Daddy Goodnight. She has it's more like a noir type film or something like that. And I wrote it down because it's allegedly on Pluto, according to Just Watch, but I didn't look to see if it's there. But there's some sort of movie that she was in some way, shape, or form the year before. But I've never heard of it. So that's how obscure. But we're that early in her career that she's done these 3 or 4 movies. And this is that early in her career. But yeah, I was with you, Loki. I forgot her in this movie. And obviously she's at this point in her career where she's just showcasing, shall we say, a lot of her assets. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. She's absolutely gorgeous in this. She's still gorgeous. I mean, she's still just.
Yeah, she is still very pretty.
If anybody's seen Dexter Resurrection recently, she's absolutely gorgeous still. But I just didn't expect that. So I had no idea who was in this. I didn't look at the cover. I just popped on the movie, started watching, and yeah, there, boom, Uma Thurman. So that something good. Yeah, she at least maybe she got a paycheck. Maybe she got an okay paycheck or a decent paycheck, or hopefully she had fun doing this. I didn't have fun watching it.
Okay, we'll keep bagging on him a little bit. SQUEEKA, of the cast of characters, because you end up with this little group. This is I actually picked the wrong picture. I was trying to get the one with the other 2 guys as well, but I love the fact that they're all like these. It's almost like meta-humans, Ironcaster, but it's like they all have these crazy skills. Like the one on the left, he's like super strong. This guy, played by Eric Idle, he wears these basically ball and chains around his legs because he's super fast, but he can't even control his speed. Then you have Jack Purvis' character. He's the dwarf, Gustavus, who basically he's like a gust of wind. He can just draw a breath in and blow it all out. And then Adolphus, I believe, is the name.
Sorry.
I don't even know what's going on with Adolphus at the time. And then suddenly he's like a dead eye shot. I'm like, okay, I totally forgot this was what's happening. But the weird thing about Adolphus is what was with the mumbling or the weird tenor of his voice at times. It's so Yeah, I get. Loki, trust me, you'll have some empathy from me. I totally get this movie's out there. It's out there
Well,
for sure.
I mean, the idea is all of them have gotten old,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
with that, it's ultimately just a matter of they are each, they still fundamentally have it all, but this is sort of that last hurrah of these men, before they get to the end of their days.
Like the
Well, and I think it's
animals in
about
Doctor.
regaining themselves too. Like they figure out that they can still do these things, and they have like that one last shot, or the gust of wind, or even like when he blows the little rat at the end. Like they regain who they were too after these adventures.
Well, that, and also there's sort of a mysticism almost about the Baron himself, that the impossible seemingly becomes possible is when you wind up getting roped up in the Baron's adventures.
yeah, that's certainly true. And I think that there's also kind of the on the nose, analogy of the warriors, the military that needs to step up their game and live up to their legacy in a time of struggle. Like so many, again, we're talking about Russian Turkish war, and you have these Russian heroes from the past who just weren't doing anything to protect their people, and it's sort of an interesting call to arms. And his war and his sort of what he was going for in this movie, because obviously there's the on the nose atom bomb conversation where you're like, yeah, you can push the button and kill people and you don't even have to watch them die, and you're like, wow, this is the kind of stuff that it does resonate over the decades of like, wow, we have these military leaders that sit in their cozy air conditioning near their home, and they're all eating nice dinners and having all the lavishes of life, while all the grunts have to go out and put themselves in harm's way. And then they just kind of get old and forget where they came from, and become so much more distant. And this becomes like a real serious call to arms through the Baron, who's just almost like headstrong and fearless and like a mythical creature who brings all this out at other people. I'm just interested to see what everybody kind of feels about some of those moments, because it is full of just crazy moments. So, hey, does Zach's great to see Zach's pop in. Great to see you, Zach's always doing good stuff, man. Your Wednesday show's good, man. Zach has got a great idea too. Ironcaster, he's manifested the concept we've talked about, where he'll do a show of like, let's size up 1982 movies against 1999 movies. He'll start talking. It's really interesting, fun time like that. Good, interesting concept. So, yeah. Daryl the Derelict doing good. Great to see you, brother. FactTube always rolling along. Make sure you're checking that out, folks. Awesome.
What's up, Daryl?
Good to see you. Yeah, there are some Texans. Gotta have some Texans. I thought Zach. I thought you were still overseas. Are you still overseas? No way. You're listening from Europe.
Well, Texas is in their hearts.
Well, I know that for sure. So, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Daryl. I'm glad someone made a nice airplane reference there. Appreciate that. That's good. It's good. Let's see.
I like the fact too that he doesn't. Not everything is over the top. Like with the rope scene in the moon, he does all these over the top things, and you're like, oh, of course the rope's just gonna continue to feed, and it's gonna be fine. And then it doesn't, and it fails. Like I like that not every gag is a successful one.
But that is sort of the simplicity of it in a way. They always have you kind of second guessing, where's the gimmick going to be? How is this going to go? You go in thinking, well, surely they're going to use this they're going to go and climb all the way down on the hair ladder, and oh wait, no, they actually realize like, oh, it didn't work that way. We get toon logic.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I remembered much about this movie other than it being weird. And I remembered pieces of things as they were transpiring. I remember Eric Idle and how good he is sort of like this outlandish character, but he's like that all the time. So it was hard to like really get my head around things. So I don't want to say I came away with like a very clean first watch type feeling. Robin Williams, though, man, he still is a show. He's so good in the scenes. There's definitely some moments. I don't even know how many days he filmed, because it feels like he could have just done all this in a couple days. Super fun. Super fun. Sorry. And Loki, you did know that Robin Williams was in it, or was this like discovered today?
No. I didn't never seen this, so I didn't like go and read about it or anything. I just watched it.
Well, I think I put it in the title or the thumbnail or something, and I thought maybe you do. So I didn't know. So Robin Williams' head shows up. That had to blow your mind. Like, you check your drink, make sure you didn't get to slip some acid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole movie is checking your drink.
Now, you know what? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if I didn't even think about that until now. Maybe if I was stoned, I could get this and I could just roll with this.
Oh, I know.
I was high.
Oh, I know that this, like Super Troopers, is way better for people that are not in their right mind, if you know what I mean. Like Super Troopers. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I could see that. That's probably why I like Time Bandits too. And Monty Python.
Ah, Zax, that's good to know, man. Seems appropriate that you're listening to us talk about this European beast of a film. Oh, good. Be careful out there, Zach. So keep us posted with those little clips and stuff. I love seeing them. It's good stuff. So. But yeah, no, I think that's true. I think, Loki, no offense, but I think that, yeah, a little extraordinary enhancement to the senses might be the great way to have your first watch experience with something that's zany. For sure. There's your guy.
There was a neat little bit they did with Robin Williams' character where when the head is detached from the body, it's very pale, very white. But when it is on the body, and you're able to get that full, like, pinkish flesh color to it, like, oh, the blood is flowing back into his head.
Yep, I did notice that. They had white makeup on him, stage makeup, in fact. They had stage makeup on him, and then when he reattached, all the color came back to his face. So yeah, that was.
And it's a good way to visually show he's acting so fundamentally different, going from, oh, you could call me the king of everything, ready to getting connected. He's like, I've got a galaxy to run, or he's like, I've got lips and I'm gonna use them.
Yeah, because he got his mojo back. Best way to put it.
Well, it's two different things, right? So his character does explain, like, when his head only, he's only thinking with his brain. Obviously, when his head is attached to the body or the body's by itself, it's only thinking with the other head, and that's pretty much the diet. It's a literal sort of mockery of that male stereotype, especially with this whole, we're at war background stuff. Like, men lose their minds and they're only thinking, it's supposed to be age of reason. It's supposed to be using your head and your brain and coordinate, and instead it's like, I don't know, I'm just want to get to my wife and tickle her feet, evidently.
Oh no, I don't have time for all this kind of stuff. I've got a galaxy to run. I don't have time for flatulence and orgasms.
Did you hear that? That was spring. I just created it.
Of course. I think therefore you ease.
All right, so all right, just so we're clear, it's not just us that have the thing. Like whoever organized the photos for IMDb, just so everybody knows out there, this is not me. This is IMDb. Look, everyone's enjoying the photos. It just keeps going. there are like 9 of them. Like, wow, everyone's dialing in for that, boy. It's like, wow, poor Uma. She's like, I did him.
Robin Williams is even not in the credits. I don't know if y'all made it through the credits, but
no, yeah, right. That was kind of what I think Loki was bringing.
He is, he is, but he insisted on. What did he call himself when he's like
Radiant?
Yes,
the character he calls himself in the film is how he's credited in the credits. So yeah. So I think, again, I go back to. I'm pretty sure from what I'm reading, kind of how I read between the lines, and knowing studio history with Columbia and what a cluster F this turned into. But what God's morons. It just absolutely was. To let some crazy Brit guy run in there and just run a studio into the ground in 12 months. It was only a year, guys. It's only a year. He took the studio that had some successes and just run it into the ground. Ishtar is like, you got to be kidding me. And then to have this thing where
not only that, they were like $2 million behind on budget before they even started filming. There was no, if anything, it was just probably a matter of there was no way they were going to be willing to pay out the money for Robin Williams and so he was probably willing to quietly do the role, and that way he doesn't get him in trouble with his agents or his union, or there's all sorts of that red tape of the behind the scenes stuff that we just never really see.
I think it was Robin wants to do the work. He wanted to do the project. He liked Terry Gilliam. He returned with Terry Gilliam in Fisher King. He didn't want his name on it with the salary issue. His agent was probably ticked off, and the studio and the agents are in cahoots always. So they were probably like, no, we're going to let this Terry Gilliam thing die on the vine. And then once the studio head and this woman comes in, what was her name? Her name was like Dawn something, Dawn's whatever her name is. And she was like, I'll add the Loki version. It was like, F no, we're not helping this guy. It's like everything like that about this movie from her was like, no. And they just had to write it out because they were already too much. They were like $25 million in debt. It ran up to like $40 million in the budget. And it just bombed. It bombed hard. And you saw the trailers. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure how it could make sense to Loki, right? I mean, you just saw this for the first time. How could it make sense?
No, and like I said, maybe if I was stoned, I'd had a good time.
I made Gwen watch it for the first time too.
Freaking crazy, man! I just don't even know what to say to that. It's so great.
Yeah,
Nas. I know these guys are crazy. So. Ishtar and Norbit, two movies that broke me the most out of the movies when I walked out in theaters. Norbit, oh, okay. I couldn't. I've never watched all of Ishtar. I only got a little bit. I was like, nope, it's that bad. I got him good.
The only movie I ever walked out on was The Last Jedi. That was it.
Yeah.
When she ran her ship through the big whatever it was, I was like, nope, I'm out. Bye, Purple Lady. Bye, Star Wars.
I want to go back to. So I don't have a good shot of the scene because I'm not even sure what IMDb is a little risque on this movie. So I really do enjoy the first flashback sequence with the Sultan and they're doing the deal, and then it's funny how, to be honest, to the Baron in the story, he just did what he said he was going to do. You said that you'd give up all your wealth to anything that a human could carry. And, it's prefaced to say, listen, the Sultan loves a good bet. So I just kind of took my strong man and did my bet. And I loved all of that, the way it played out, the way they were kind of like, he's playing the music with the people being tortured in the machine and he's going to be beheaded and they're marking his neck up and you have just complete chaos. So this has to be part of what I think, SQUEEKA, that you enjoy the rewatch is all these minutiae of details that you really pick up on.
Well, just a little bit, like the organ he's playing, or like when the guy's head lands in the lady's lap. There's like all kinds of little pieces that it's like, okay, that's just silly and absurd. I like the silliness, I suppose. But yeah, or like just even the part where they're like, where is he? And he's like taking a nap, and the guy can see him for miles, and shoots the tree branch, and it's just.
So I guess to explain it just a smidge, the Baron has gone to see the Sultan of Turkey in order to try to parlay with him to end a battle, and in doing this, the two sit down and begin to discuss brandy, and while the Sultan, very proud of his alcohol, insists he has the finest around, but the Baron, being this sophisticated gentleman who knows a thing or two, insists that no, in fact, that the good Queen of Prussia has a better vintage, and he, to the point that the Baron is willing to bet his head on it that he could provide it within an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so immediately we are getting just these bizarre tales that would be impossible to procure and be made possible, and yet the Baron makes it happen.
Yeah, Bertold, the Eric Idle character, is a speedster, runs there to get it, but then ends up taking a nap under a tree, like SQUEEKA was talking about, and you guys were talking about. And then, of course, the strong guy is able to just pick up all of the wealth, all of it, And then the war starts. And it's like, oh, but dude, it's like you made the bet. You made the rule. You've just been had. So Scott Westbrook, thank you so much for all your support and goodwill, man. Good evening, good Pops people. Good evening to you, Scott. Thank you for that $5 and everything you do to support us and the channel and all the people here. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Scott. Anyway, I liked all that. I don't have other images to pull up, but yeah, there's like swords inside the organ. So he's basically playing the squeals, his music. You're looking at the debauchery, the horrible sounds, all the shenanigans. That's when I really, really was enjoying the movie. Like I really loved all that. And it kind of gets even weirder. And the other thing I wanted to just bring up real quick that I just really loved about the movie is I love the Sting cameo. So the Sting cameo is phenomenal. He's brought forth as a hero. He's single-handedly taken out 6 cannon brigades, and he's done this, and he's a hero. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's done all this great stuff. Okay, now take him away and behead him because we can't have him continue to make people look so bad. It's demoralizing to everyone else because he's so good. And okay, that resonates. Man, that's some 2025 stuff, Loki. You have to admit that part.
Yes, no, absolutely. That besides Uma Thurman being in the movie, that's the other. That yes. And I didn't even think about it till you just said that.
Yeah, that was great.
No, it was great. It was great because yes, if you've ever been in that kind of position and you're like, "What the shit? I'm the only one that does work around here."
Yeah. So SQUEEKA, that has to make you laugh every single time.
Well, the whole movie makes me laugh every single time, but yes. And the part where they're like, well, it's Wednesday. They shouldn't be firing cannons on Wednesday. We had an agreement. Right. When they sit and talk about no, you're supposed to surrender. No, you're supposed to surrender. It's just, it's so silly.
That's true. I will admit, too, that on the rewatch, there was things I was picking up. I mean, I hadn't watched it in a long time anyway, so I'm not sure it's a fair representation, but I really admit that I was trying to pay more attention to some of that dialogue. And there was a lot of that. Again, it is British humor, so I get what Loki was trying to say earlier. All those little jabs and jokes and play off each other kind of things. I think Ironcaster, that's what makes you like it, though, right? It's like it's just so interwoven with those type of little cut-up gags and stuff like that. It never stops.
But I feel like for Sting, I don't think it was necessarily pun. It wasn't I do all this stuff. I feel like one of the reasons I like it is because he says, there's people that are trying to live unexceptional lives. We're just trying to be middle of the ground here. Quit going above and beyond. We don't want people doing that. We don't want people being above and beyond. And that's what I think is the funniest, is because he's like, people are just trying to leave their unexceptional lives and their mediocre selves and normal boring lives. We can't have these over, what does he say, emotional people rocking the boat by doing so much. When I was like, he's trying to keep it at this even keel of, we're just going to stay in this level of fighting and we can't do more. And
the other thing that we'll have to drag out of him, Ironcaster, is to get Loki admit how much we have to love the amount of costuming and practical effects. And there's just the set designs. I mean, there's just this movie is riddled with crazy stuff. Not everything works great, but there's so much location. Oh, sorry, I've gone around the horn now to the 9 or 12 photos of Uma naked.
Trust me, Pops. I don't think anyone in the audience is going to be complaining about seeing more Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
I think. Oh my God, there is so much in this movie that's just a feast for the eyes. The visuals, the sets, the costumes. So much of it feels like a fever dream at times is the worst you can really say about it. But when you are watching any particular scene, there's always so much to appreciate. You cannot say there's a boring set in this film.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's part of what we kind of clamor for. So yeah. Oh, nice sets. I know we clicked on Uma for a minute too there, DJ Roddy G. So I'm not sure what we're talking about, but I get what you're saying.
Except for the few times where they did use cardboard sets.
Well, the budget was probably cut, and they kind of had to. And I do think the mechanical monster was on purpose. They wanted to make it look.
Or even the moon, the
when they're in the
the
when
moon
they're
one is on purpose.
Yeah, the moon one and the beginning of the movie when they're in the theater. I get that. I did theater. It's what I originally went to college for, was to do theater, because I thought, yeah, make people laugh, and no. I ended up doing set work. So yeah. Besides that, because all that's intentional, I get that.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of location shoots, though. They had a lot of crazy costume design, a lot of stuff. Again, this is what ran the budget out. They're just spending so much money on all these things, making all these things work, making all these things kind of happen. And I will say, I admit, I was envisioning. I don't know why I knew SQUEEKA would love the constant infatuation with the women, with the Baron. Like every woman was like, "Oh, Baron, or ladies," and it just never stopped. It was a gag that just kept going and going and going. I'm like, oh, I know that has to be amusing to SQUEEKA.
Or the part where he goes, "Have you ever seen so many knickers? It's a glorious sight." When they're making the balloon.
Yes, making the balloon. I wanted to get to Vulcan as well.
But it was, I mean, it's so hilarious because he's this old man who's like, who's kind of on the cusp of death. And here he is just swooning and wooing all these ladies everywhere he goes. The good Baron just kind of helped himself. Like, how could he not compliment a woman on her beauty? It would be beneath his character, you see.
I mean, even Venus is the most beautiful woman in the universe, is also like giving herself up to the Baron. I'm like, it's so absurd and over the top. And then to have, this is her husband Vulcan, played by the great Oliver Reed. Talk about an actor that just kind of. So if you guys don't know the story about poor Oliver Reed, and he also is one of those. I don't know what the best way to describe it is. He's a Steve McQueen Hellraiser kind of guy, like drinking partier kind of guy. He almost become James Bond at one point. He just, he's a lot. And he ended up playing Vulcan and just got to be turned loose. I mean, he got to be kind of crazy for a minute. He's in some Hammer films, by the way. Some of you guys out there know that he made some of the horror movies back in the day. He's one of the other unsung horror actors. I actually thought he was really, really good in this. I don't know. Loki, you've been hard on the movie, though. What do you think about the old Oliver Reed character?
I didn't care for it, but
okay. All right.
I think I mean, I'd almost wish this was like a Hades Persephone thing, because that would at least make more sense to me. But
were they trying to lean into something that wasn't quite so Greek or Roman mythology, because that would take away from it all? I don't know. I was just curious. I didn't know. And I know this is coming from their book, so I don't know. Ironcaster, do you know more about the folklore it's coming from?
Not particularly, but considering the Baron is supposed to be this man who's been around, it's not a surprise that they would be bringing up a lot of mythology here, because these are old tales that are commonly known, that you wind up having in so many places being referenced and brought up, that it would make nothing more than perfect sense for them to be bringing these things up. But the only other thought I had here with this role was the only other actor who I could see doing this role would be like Brian Bless.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of who I thought it was at first in my brain. I was like, "Oh, is that Brian Bless?" No, I said no. It's Oliver Reed. Oh, okay.
Gordon's alive.
Dive.
Yeah, I liked it. I actually thought it was good. I get what you're saying, though. I do understand that, but I think he just delivered a great personification of what they were going for. I thought it actually worked pretty well. So,
and I like the part, like not just the part where he talks about the bomb from afar, but it also like goes into a little bit of political commentary about the unions and getting to work, and the negotiations that open up as to why the volcano's not working when they first land in it. So I feel like there's a good sprinkling of that political commentary in there too.
And of course, we also get that joke at the end where once he's reignited his lovemaking with the wife, well, then we get to have all the fireworks going off and the hammers start pounding once more.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they do.
Yep. Well, on the nose for sure. I think that was very, very good observation. Loved Oliver Reed. as Athos in Three Musketeers and Four Musketeers. Yeah, true. Good call. He's got a
Squeaky,
lot
do
of
you
great
think-
roles. He's one of those no-name actors that people don't give credit to. Go ahead, Ironcaster.
Squeaky, do you think Vulcans are going to tickle her feet?
No. She doesn't look like the feet tickling kind.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mrs. ain't letting me near her tickle. Once her feet rub, but she ain't letting me tickle on her, man. No, tickling comes fighting. She's not. I don't know. I don't know you guys. I don't know who wants to be tickled. It's kind of weird. A lot of hickling going on. So, all right, Snorty, I'm not putting that up there. You guys are crazy. You guys are Snorty. So I don't know what to say, Snorty. What are your thoughts on old Sarah Polley? Sarah Polley, long-time career actress, started as a child actor, been around Hollywood system for so long. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of hers. She also kind of like whined about this movie and what she went through and how rough it was. And that's fine. I get it. They did it to a kid. I don't tell you. She's kind of reversed on that. Go, listen, yeah, you're right. I was a kid actor. We don't do it that way anymore, kind of thing. Because she knew that she was kind of being a jerk about it. So one of those. It wasn't really like throwing Terry Gilliam under the bus, but she was throwing Terry Gilliam under the bus. And yeah, that's kind of bad form. She was okay in this movie. The role, the performance, and everything has kind of been done a dozen times. Like, I don't know, pick a movie. There's just so many that got the kid actors, the British kids. Even like Willy Wonka has the same kind of moments, some of the same kind of scenes, and there's a whole bunch of them like that. So, nothing to write home about. Ironcaster, you want to defend her?
No, she's just kind of there. I don't have anything to say about her. She's meh.
She's all right. I mean, she's a kid actor. I'm not going to totally pile on her, but
Yeah, exactly.
The movie just kind of rests on John Neville, who really did a good job with what he was working with. He's a stage performer, not really a big screen actor or anything like that. Surprising that he took the role, but I think it was just, again, the Brits love Monty Python stuff, so they're all about Terry Gilliam. So it was like, he can get these big names, he can get these people in there and make this manageable. I don't know that I had a favorite moment with the Baron. I love the suaveness with the girls for sure. That was probably my favorite thing. And the stuff with the Sultan that I mentioned before. I didn't get a picture. I don't think there's a picture. One of my favorite gags is when he goes up to the actor that's playing him and he chops the half of the nose off and they keep showing the actor with the dude doesn't ever get rid of the fake nose. I'm like, dude, just ditch the nose. They cut half of it off. And the gag just kind of keeps going without it being a gag. That actually made me laugh. It was cheap.
No,
but
the show must go on.
Yeah. That worked pretty well. I really love the side characters. I think that's the heart of the movie for me, though, is that these characters are just a blast to watch. Not necessarily as dynamic, as interesting as Time Bandits. I definitely give people that. And definitely more likable and a fun movie than anything in Brazil. I really liked them. I just wish there was actually more of them, to be honest. More of this. Maybe a couple of the side journeys could have been a little bit faster. The moon stuff maybe could have been a little bit shorter. Yeah.
But it would have been we would have lost more Robin Williams.
Yeah, I know. I get what I know what I'm losing. I get it. I'm torn.
I mean, I agree. I like the fact that at the beginning, they don't go into a bunch of exposition about who they are. You just see what they can do, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then when he goes to look for them, I do wish there had been more of kind of their perspective too. Like, why are they all of a sudden on this boat more? Like what happened? What happened to their voice? Like, like why is he on the moon? Like, I do wish there had been more story about them as well. But I mean,
they explain it, right? Because he says that you left me here. Like he basically, he basically went to go bang the queen mom, the queen of the moon, and then left him there. Like, he got stuck in the dungeon, and I'm like, okay, well, I forgot any of that was in this movie.
But we only get like this one little blip of him with the Sultan, like, and they leave. Like, what happened after that? Like, what other adventures are there? Like, how did they get to the moon? Why? Like, I do want more of their story.
We get like this guy too. Like this guy, like this dude's like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry about spending all the money. Oh, I didn't spend all the money. I've just been, so
I
it's like,
donated it
okay,
to
so it's
charity.
like, yeah, I gave it to charity. It's like, okay, I see what you did.
I like
So
being
I
soft.
get it. I just feel like the movie was supposed to be a focus about the Baron, and it just kind of leaves some of these little loose ends, just kind of,
Well,
right. So
it's just kind of a shame because they are themselves these really interesting characters that you want to know more about. It's just that they are ultimately a side piece to the Baron. They are these unique characters that he's collected over the years, and they exist just to be useful to the Baron.
But where did but
Sure.
even that, like, where did the Baron go? Like, what happened? He left them all behind.
Yeah, and as a filmmaker, I would assume he just wants you to go read books and try to get into it more and stuff like that. I don't know. It's interesting though. It is an interesting conceptually. I lean. I'm not as far into the camp as you guys are. I'm not where Loki is either. So I'm not going down the rabbit hole to try to learn more. But I'm also like, I get why people would or enjoy this movie that much more as a regular thing. So uh, see, I don't criticize her for being that. That was kind of, she played the character all the way through. She actually has, I mean, look, she has a story. She has an arc. She's the one that believes in him. She's the one that's, I get her. She's the voice of reason too when he's sad. She's trying to encourage him, don't give up. She's the one like crying because death, she can actually see death, the death angel. I just think that it's just a character that's been done so many times in so many different ways. I don't think there's anything particularly special about her or her performance. But I'm also going to bag on her either. Oh, that's a great shot of the neck. There's just moments like this were just so good. You're such an odd person to think that should be done. That was so good.
The makeup is really good for the Baron because you can't tell the nose is a prosthetic.
It's a good shot. I think again, practical effects mixed in with some of the visuals, costuming. It's crazy.
So many women's undergarments.
Look at this crazy thing on these people's heads, man. It's just nuts. Yeah, Jonathan Pryce, just long storied career, Bond villain, otherwise, lots of different things going on. It's all right. I think that it was interesting to have the story push him the way it does because it doesn't quite work. Like as the audience, you're just like sick of this guy. Like, why don't somebody just punch this guy in the face? Like we're just like so over it. So that's interesting. Again, great set. Look at that beautiful piece there. They work on. Yeah, that's all. I love some of those shots. Look good. So, all in all, some fun times, some interesting moments, things that work. A lot of things maybe Loki disagrees about, but I get it. Definitely quirky and weird. Definitely strange. So, let me see. I want to get to production photos to give him one last little bit of credit for some of that. Anything else you want to throw out there real quick, Ironcaster?
Not particularly. I mean, aside from the fact that this has gone on to be made into additional there's an RPG that exists for the Baron, and it's really just more of a drinking game.
Baron Münchhausen, the drinking game.
I mean, the rules are simple. Right. Players sit around and... Oh.
No, go ahead. I want to get to your book and stuff in a minute, though. But there's Terry Gilliam having proof that he had to work with Rob Williams. He's like, I got my photo, photo proof. Some of the different shots. Here's one of the monster design on site, on location. How hot they would have been. That's crazy. So the posters and stuff are really dynamic. I kind of hit a few of them earlier. They're all over the map with what they're trying to showcase and show off. Different designs. This is the one I remembered from like a VHS box. Oh, back to more Uma. They're everywhere, folks. They're everywhere. Pictures of Uma are all over. Goodness gracious me, people. Obsessed. Any other stuff you want to touch on, SQUEEKA? Any other scenes or moments that you were like, really special to you?
Well, I like stars and constellations and stuff. So I like the scene too when they're in the moon and it's got like Pisces swimming by and you know the different constellations going past them. I think that part was cool too.
It was
Like
interesting for sure. Yeah.
it's just not something I've really seen in a lot of movies, that the whole um just geometric, very mathematically precise universe. It's not this open vastness. It's like got its little, and then like when you zoom in on the earth, you see the latitude and longitude lines.
Yeah.
The fact that not only that, it's they're on the tip of the crescent moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a different, like it's a different kind of space than other people have presented. I just thought it was. I'm like, I love that. I love that you see them falling towards Earth, and it's like, oh, look at the lines. That's nice.
And this is where Loki is like, I definitely needed some more acid. It doesn't work for me. Loki's like, I don't know. People are nuts.
Where did you put the PCP?
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm way too sober to be enjoying this movie like everyone else is, evidently. So, Ironcaster, before we go to scores and stuff, best and worst moments, or anything else you want to throw out there, let's talk about this RPG thing you got going on. Show me this game.
Yeah, let me turn the camera on. So there's been a couple of editions of this out for a while, but there is a role-playing game for it. And I say role-playing game because while it is in the more literal sense of the idea is that players are effectively nobles sitting around the table and are supposed to be relegating tales to one another of various exploits and adventures. Like, tell us, how is it that you were able to tell us, dear Baron? How is it you were able to fly the flag of England over the Louvre in Paris? And the idea is you have to now on the spot come up with this, this crazy adventure and explain how it happens, while other players might turn around and challenge what you've put forth. And with it, there's a bit of a bidding mechanic involving coins. At the end of it, whoever has the most coins or whoever has told the best tale by vote wins. And the winner, being the good gentleman they are, is going to, of course, reward and thank the others by buying them a round of drinks. It's very silly, just all based upon this stuff. And plus, there's some fantastic little art in here, like all three kids in a trench coat.
I do like that. That's art's really impressive.
But it was just a fun one I had to pick up after I had seen the movie. As for the movie itself, I'm gonna say probably best moment is gonna be just about any scene with the good Baron in it. In particular, anytime he's like wooing women, or when he's in. I have to say probably the best moment for me is like the stuff with Venus, with him and Uma Thurman. There's he comes across in any scene with all these women as very charismatic, when he has to of course ask the women for all their bloomers so they can create the balloon to escape. It's super fantastical and a lot of fun. Weakest moment I would say is probably the fish scene, because it's one of those ones that just kind of puts me to sleep, and before I know it, it's like, oh, they've got another one of their cohorts with them, and then we've already kind of moved on past this. But a lot of that you could kind of chalk up to just, they were, way behind on budget. It's studio interference. They made the best with what they could do. And ultimately, I'm going to say it's probably 6 out of 10. I enjoy the movie, but it's got some flaws. It's not a movie for everyone. But for those of us who enjoy it, it'll do it a pinch.
Okay. I'm not going to ask Loki even for a score or a weak thing. I'm going to ask is there another good element that you want to mention?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Robin did his thing. It was good to see him. It was good to see him in something that I'd never seen him before. Uma Thurman in her early 20s, yowza.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
just, besides some basic things, I feel bad because obviously, Squeeka and Ironcaster love this movie and think the world of this movie. And now I feel like I'm like the odd man out that doesn't get it, that heard the
Yeah,
joke
but I
and
think
didn't get it. So,
that goes around though, right? There's other stuff that people like more than us, or vice versa, and so that's just this
oh
is all
yeah,
part of it. But it is interesting to know that this is a movie that is 37 years old that you had not seen or heard of, that not watched. Ironcaster watched, liked so much he has a book, an RPG book on it. I mean, and Squeeka recommended it. So it's like the world is so vast. That's why we always talk about like ton of people, and part of our almost mission statement would be like, don't get caught up, don't get bent out of shape, just watch something else, just go out there. The world is so big that there's so much stuff that you can find something else. No hard feelings. You didn't like it, move on. Go, you don't want this, watch that. Let's just keep going. And I think this is another one of those examples. I'm kind of little less than Ironcaster. I'll go 2.5 out of 5. It's Midland for me. I just can't connect to a lot of it. It's sluggish so much in the middle. I echo kind of what Loki's, all of its strengths. I do like the Sultan stuff a lot more than he would give credit to. Obviously, Uma and Robin Williams are phenomenal in their parts. I think John Neville does great. I think actually most of the performances is not where I have an issue. I just think it's just so odd and weird that it is hard to connect to. But I feel like if you do connect, it feels like you're down the rabbit hole, kind of like Monty Python or other British humor. Like if you meet people who are into certain British shows or whatever, they're down into those universes and watching it and really enjoying it. I feel like that's kind of the Terry Gilliam universe. If you really love his stuff, you'll enjoy more and more of his stuff because you'll get how he navigates. And I think it just didn't work as well for me in this one as his other stuff, but I also am not gonna hate it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Squeak, you said you watch this every year. Is that what you were saying?
I try to, like, yeah, about once a year. It's just because it's silly. Like, I agree. There's parts of it that I'm like, what is going on here? Even now, even after having watched it, but it's just, to me, it's just one of those old silly movies that it does. There's a lot of what the heckery is going on here, and I think that's why, like, I don't really like the parts like with the girl pushing this bit along. I just watch it for like some of the scenes, the costume. But then again, I watch Chinese dramas for the costumes too. Like the costuming, like I said, I love the part with the moon and the constellations going by and the latitude longitude. There's just some perspectives in this movie that you haven't seen since, like you haven't, that aren't in other movies, and I. Yeah, it's just silly to me. And every now and then I just want something that's not necessarily funny in like blazing saddles kind of way, or funny in an airplane kind of way, just off the chain. What the heck am I watching? That's just silly kind of movie, and that's what I watch it for.
All right. So with that, let me throw to Loki then the transition, because you mentioned Time Bandits. Have you seen like his next group of movies? So his next group of movies are not. I guess the last one is a dark comedy, I guess by definition. But he does Fisher King with Robin Williams. He does 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis.
Seen that.
And then he does Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp. So how do you feel about those 3 movies?
I'm all good with them.
Yeah, it's different.
It's when I say I most likely would have to be, I'd have to be high to get that connection that you're talking about. And I'm not downing anybody. I'm not talking shit about anybody. I know a lot of people that partake. I can't. And maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just missing that. I don't know, but I just couldn't connect to it. And
I promise I'm not when I watch it. I'm normally this way.
And maybe that's just what I need to like it. There are movies like that. I saw a lot of movies for for almost 20 years, I saw movies like that. So,
But it's refreshing too. I like the fact that there are movies that Ironcast really likes that we don't like, or that I like that y'all don't like, and like it's nice to know, and it makes me feel a little more human when y'all are like, "This movie's the best," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get it, guys. I'm not there either." So
Yeah.
it's fine, and I like the fact that now I can feel a little more normal because Loki doesn't like some movies too.
yeah.
See, Loki, it's
Well, I
not
think
just me picking bad movies.
I said I would take the corner for this.
I don't know if I'd even call it a bad movie. It's just not my movie.
it's just weird.
Okay, so like, what is it? Sharknado? That is a terrible ass stupid movie. Same thing with all 5 sequels that happened after it. But I wouldn't say this is a bad movie. I didn't, and it's not even like I didn't get it, because I see where they were going. I see what they were trying to do. I understand that the concept. I mean, tilting at windmills, right? But I just didn't. It's not my bag. It wasn't for me. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means that it's not a for me movie.
We talked about this during Ghibli, right? Because during Ghibli, we were talking about like Spirited Away.
Same
It's like,
thing.
Spirited Away is not made for Loki. So he's really into more like some of the harder core anime that pushes the edge. It was what he was first introduced to. It's just different, right? And I think this is the beauty of when we, because when we were younger, we didn't have an outlet to share more stuff with other people. You know what I mean? So had we not had Talk Hard, had we not met and done these things, maybe he could have gone his whole life and not realized that he hated the adventures of Baron Münchhausen. And that's okay, So it's like it's fun to have this thing, and it kind of makes it. I think it makes us closer because we understand each other better. We understand the likes and dislikes, and it is more interesting. And what will ultimately happen as well, and Ironcatcher is a good example of this. He'll have something that we'll be surprised by. You know what I mean? We'll have something because we have one coming up, and I've only heard good things, so I let it fly. I'm letting everybody know now. You don't want to miss our reaction to the last show of October. I believe it's the last show of October. Ironcatcher, check that for me. It's it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I had not heard of it. I looked it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone loves this movie. They love it like Bubba Hotep, which I love Bubba Hotep, right? We talk a little bit about doing it. We keep putting it off for some reason, but we ended up doing Tucker and Dale. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. So I'm actually, and I feel like I'm coming across, I don't know, a lot more hating on this movie. I just don't think it connects as well. Like, I think Time Bandits is such a superior film. And I agree with you, Loki. I think the ones he does after this, Fisher King in particular, is so much deeper and edgier and different in a human way. But Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges are both just phenomenal. I think 12 Monkeys is possibly one of, like, I don't know, if you squeeze my arm, twist my arm, and like 20 of some of the most underrated movies. 12 Monkeys might be among that. I know Brad Pitt's performance is. Brad Pitt's performance is incredibly underrated and overlooked. He's phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Fear and Loathing, but that's, again, we're back to the whole, maybe we need to have a little bit of foreign particles in our system to enjoy Fear and Loathing on the level that other people do. Totally get it. So.
See, I agree. I like Time Minutes better, but I haven't seen the ones that y'all are talking about, the last 3. I haven't seen any of those. So I don't know any of those. But Time Bandits is definitely better than Baron Münchhausen for sure.
Yeah, Scott's loving some Bubba Hotep. We should probably, by the way, Ironcaster, I definitely updated the schedule today. Updated the schedule today, so feel free to fill when you do some updates on the schedule. If you want to put Bubba Hotep at the top, we'll see if we can fit it in somewhere. It's a movie that just deserves some attention. I'm in that rabbit hole too, where I just feel like certain movies. I'm doing a lot of cult movies this year with Paranorman Tag, and we've been going through the Tubi app and some other things, just finding these like, hey, we all forgot about this movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good either. And sometimes it's just they run out of money, they don't have money, or just little ideas are okay. And I feel frustrated I'm more frustrated when they drop the ball than like Sharknado. Sharknado I expect to be bad. It's almost like a spoof. It's just bad. It wasn't intended. I get more angry when it was supposed to be good or it was billed as being good and it turns out to be crap. Then it gets me mad. So yeah. Anyway. Let's talk about what's coming up. Ironcaster, another great Monday. You're making my Mondays happy again. I gotta be honest, Mondays are so much better, folks, if you're having some mech time with the Ironcaster and all the shenanigans that he's been doing over there. So you stay strong and keep that going, brother, because you're making me happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. We started off with a little bit of a downer. Had to kind of talk on a little bit of that church shooting that happened in the area here. Yep. But we kind of rounded up, talk a little bit about some DSP's worst opinion about Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we made it work in the end.
I'm glad you talked about that. That's something that's come out that's been only like in certain circles. People were talking about it. Big in the collector space because a lot of people are into like the 90s X-Men stuff. Anything that involves 90 X-Men, they all talk about. So I heard about it there. So it's good to hear. So you got other shows this week?
Should be hanging out with T-shirt here tonight where we're going to sit down and talk a little bit about some general geekery. This weekend we're going to be hanging out with Nick Weiser and the boys, talking some more classic comics, a little Amazing Spider-Man, a little Fantastic Four. And I think we might be hanging out with the Common Nerd this weekend to talk about some Warhammer.
Very cool. Always good stuff. Lots of nerdy stuff. Or sorry, geekery. Maybe did you coin that? I think geekery is good. I like that geekery.
I think it's been thrown around for a little bit, but it is a good word to use.
Yeah, geekery. Loki, we're not gonna have as much geekery tomorrow. We're gonna have a little YouTube talk, little therapy time.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, Hammer is coming down because again, this week we've got people fighting over a dead YouTuber's channel, and I'm just like, oh my god, how do you people function in the world of like reality when you are fighting over a dead guy's YouTube channel? I mean, your buddy, he kicks the bucket, and your first concern is who's gonna get his channel. So check it out, watch, and please like, share, subscribe, all that fun jazz, because I never asked for that. But it's wow.
That's why I can't even imagine that. Like that's wild.
SQUEEKA, that's happened multiple times. That happened with Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom when he passed away. That happened with our good friend Clavi when he passed away. Now it's happening again. So it's just nuts that someone passes away and it's like, oh, we're all gonna fight and have it out over their channel. Okay.
I didn't even tolerate that when it was like stuff. Like I remember when my grandmother passed away, and I was like, my siblings were like, "Well, where's my thing? Where's my?" And I'm like, "You can stop. You first off, we're this person's passed away. You're going to honor that, and you're going to honor the people that are grieving, and then the rest of it will fall into place. You just stop. Like what? Oh my gosh!
Funerals and weddings bring out the worst in humans. Just to be perfectly honest,
I'm the worst every day. I don't need a funeral.
No, it's a funeral. It's funerals and weddings. Weddings are completely unhinged too. I literally thought some bridesmaids were going to go to fisticuffs over shoes. One time in the lobby of my church, I was like, "What the heck is going on? Everybody go in this back room right now." Sent my wife in there. Sent the bulldog in there. She took care of that mess real quick. Like, we're in a church. Y'all need to get your act together. So yeah, funerals, and I've seen all sorts of fights in funerals. I've seen just crazy stuff. Funerals and weddings are the worst, man. So yeah, I never thought about it until Loki kind of brought it up in the last couple of years, and that was before Klobby. And I was like, I guess I do need to have a backup plan of who has access to this freaking channel and how that actually works. Because I can imagine people out there thinking that they deserve to have their fingers in the pie, or tell my kids or my wife what she should do or something. I don't know.
There are only two people that can make any kind of decisions, and that's Eris and Mike. They both know exactly what I want, which is I want it to be an archive. That's what I want. If Eris really wants to use it for something, she's more than welcome to. But we talked about that, and she was like, "I would never do that." And I was like, "Okay," but she has the ability to do that. Anybody else re-uploading my stuff, And I'm not talking about like clips from you, Pops. Like that's one of the things I told her. I was like, anything Pops puts up, it's totally cool. Whatever he
I don't
does.
clip from your shows though and post it on
Yeah,
my channel. I know people do that, but I don't do that.
I know, and it's what
I
we
post-
do here. I don't care about that.
Correct. Right.
Do whatever you want to with that. But the stuff on mine, and that's their call. They know what I want. That's their call. Nobody needs to argue with them about that or be like, oh, well, I was a co-host for blah, blah, blah. I should. No, it's just a YouTube channel. My God, that people act like.
That's why I stay quiet. I've got tired. I don't. Well, even the I just try to show support. I still get backlash about how I'm just trying to get attention, or you're just doing this for clout. And I'm like, dude, I don't even say anything. I'm so tired of that.
And that better not happen.
Messages.
I hope that hasn't happened on mine. I really don't, because I mean, when people pull shit like that, all you're doing is showing your support. And that is a wonderful thing. Anybody that has survived on ramen for the month knows that shit can get tight, and people that help out, that throw a little, a couple memberships out or something, that could make someone's day. That might be a meal for somebody. So
it can be the difference when you getting the check or not getting the check. For those of you who don't know, if you don't make the $100 that month, for some reason you don't make the $100, you don't get a check. What somebody's out there and they were getting the check regularly, but for some reason there's a dip. Like there's definitely certain times of the year. I think the summer is probably the worst, right? The summer's pretty rough, and it's like
summer and Christmas usually.
Christmas, yeah, the month of December. And it's like some people may not get a check that month, and then you have some people who lose their job and they suddenly are doing. I know somebody very close to us, and they're like, this is their thing now until they can get another job, and it's like, oh yeah, you kind of want to circle the wagons and do a little more that you can for those people. And if nothing else, at least try to watch their content, play in the background or something. But I don't know, just like everything else, if it involves humans, it's going to get muddy. It's going to get messy. So
yeah, I do that. I watch things like in the background, or I'll have them playing, or sometimes I'll just watch them, on breaks and stuff at work and stuff. So I do the watching. I just don't participate in chats anymore. I just got tired of all the drama, and then I just, even now, like I said, it's what gets me is this. I show support, and I mean, I know this sounds silly, but I don't feel like I have anything to contribute besides what I do. So I do what I do, and I still get flack for that. Somebody accused me the other day of trying to chase clout, and I'm like, dude, I don't even have a channel.
people are retarded.
How am I grifting? Like, what the heck?
Exactly.
You should just tell them it's just shut your mouth if you're not subscribed to my channel. Just tell them that. Just tell them to shut your mouth unless you're subscribed to my channel.
I don't know, Squeeka, if you heard the YouTube talk where I was talking about who came after Arwen when she showed up for the first time and for the Green Hearts. But that's so just like it's so stupid and it's so petty. And it's just when you hear about stuff like that, oh, she put Green Hearts in the chat. She must be up to no good. And da, 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 da. That's not really a woman. You're like, man, women hate each other.
Yeah, I got accused of that, and I just replied back, all I have to say is I don't even have a channel, and then I just blocked him, and I was like, no, I don't even have. What am I gonna do? I'm like, I don't want any merch. I don't want anything. I just want to my peeps to know that I think they're doing an amazing job. Like that's
you do
y'all.
you speak. You just do you. We're not doing that nonsense. Yeah,
that was
that's
my
right,
favorite.
Beard. Keep it going. Green Heart people, lots of Green Hearts. Get out there with the Green Heart Brigade out there. I use all the different colored hearts because I didn't know it was so easy. Like just doing it, I figured out the stupid symbol for the emojis, and I don't know about anyone else, but because you're supposed to be trying to answer comments for people. Some people just give you emojis. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you an emoji back, and just like different colors, something to make it less boring. Just give people back, I don't know. People are people. I don't know.
I didn't mean to put us on a tangent. It just
you are fine. You are fine. So
it just it gets me. Yeah. I can't believe this is going on, Loki. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
it's the way it is. I'm not surprised. This is going to be the time where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to come on here. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to talk shit because the other two times I went ape. I was like, let me off my leash. I'm going to rip someone's throat out for this. This time, I'm just like, I'm not surprised anymore. I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've seen it over the past 6 years. Hey, you know what? Someone died. Let's fight over what's left of their channel. Oh,
But
yeah.
see, that's what for like even like I just they're gone. Like, can't you like? To me, that would be the most wonderful thing in the world is for to be able to go look. They had a channel. I would just sit there and listen to it all day. Like, I have a voice recording from my dad, and it is the most precious thing in the world to me. Like,
Yeah.
how
I've
could you
got I've
fight
got
over something like that?
I've got 5 voicemails from my dad that last about 10 seconds each. And they're all, "Hey son, it's your dad. Give me a call when you get this. Bye." And I sound a lot like him. Eris heard one for the first time the other day because I was like, "Hey, listen to this," because I save them. I've got 2 I've never listened to, but they're almost the exact same length as the other one, so I know exactly what it is. It's him calling, going, "Hey son, this is your dad. Give me a call when you get this. Bye." And it's like I would never give that up. I would never give that up. And for you know what, these people just do not have faith that, hey, you know what, I may have worked with this guy, but because of them I'm going to do my own thing. They would get a ton of subscribers just from doing that. Hey guys, I'm going to start my own channel. I know we worked together with Billy all this time, but I'm just going to start my own channel. We're going to start from scratch and we're going to build it from the ground up. People would ignite his channel because they all loved him and they all loved Billy and they all loved, and for that uh, to just go, nope, we're going to try and fight over the channel. I'm like, no, guys, just start over. I understand you worked over a decade for this, but just do something new now that he's gone. That's it. That's all you got to do.
I mean,
Don't
I
fight
could
over
see
it.
like asking permission for like, hey, and just like our friend Billy Bob used to say, and then playing a small clip or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't. Oh, this makes me sad.
It's all right. We'll get through it together. Snorty, Snorty, you take care, brother. Thanks for being here from the get go.
Later, Snorty.
Tomorrow starts October, so definitely.
Wow!
Yeah,
sorry.
we're there. October starts. So I start my Popstoberfest starts tomorrow. So all my little Halloween spooky horror movie reviews will start. So 3 days a week. We'll see how many more I get done. But the goal right now is to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:15 right after Loki show. And that sort of window has always been my little landmark, so I stick with that. So my daughter comes on, Baron comes on, talk about some different movies, stuff for the kids as well. So Coraline and Monster Squad, Monster House, things like that. Also, just wolfing, howling, run through some different stuff and some things that we'll talk about over the next few years. But I think it's getting to the season, just to do it. It's funny how the market, the economy just skips now. We just skip. Halloween used to be so much bigger. Now it's like an aisle, and now it's skipped. They're already putting Christmas up in most stores. I'm like, wow. I guess I don't go shopping enough. Maybe Halloween's been there for 2 months. I don't know. I missed it. I was in just a couple stores, and Christmas is there. Christmas again. I'm like, wow. Y'all are. I'm really into Christmas. This is too much for me. Oh, y'all are doing it wrong. So,
See, I'm a Halloween girl because I like the spiders. I'm all about the spiders.
oh, all right.
Oh yeah.
Favorite meal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't eat them.
Eat them.
But we have a tradition. So in my house, we have one of the old Wii's, like the Wii, not the Wii U, the old Wii's. And there was this silly, spooky skeleton I Spy game that came out for it. It's the silliest game ever. And we play it every October.
Wow.
I think we have it memorized, like all the little rhymes and stuff. But every October we play the I Spy game. We do it in different order, do different stuff. But
It makes me think. I did a video on arachnophobia. I should put that on the list for my daughter and I to talk about. So if she watches arachnophobia, I love arachnophobia. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite movies. That has this great performance by John Goodman. I love arachnophobia. Have you ever seen it, SQUEEKA?
I think so. Is that
Yeah.
the one where at the end scene it's like the town is covered or something? And
Yes, there's spiders everywhere, and the one jumps on him, and yeah, stuff like that. So
Yeah, they
typical.
come in on like the bananas or something. Like I feel like it was a long time ago, but I think I took it out of my memory banks because they hurt the spiders, so I didn't like it.
Oh, well, actually, the amazing thing is how much work they went through to not hurt a spider. So, like, even the scene where John Goodman squishes it with his boot, they made a special boot that it would like cup the spider. And then when they have a cutaway with the shoe when he lifts it, and it's the fake stuff. So, yeah, if you read the details on arachnophobia, no spiders were harmed in the making of this movie. I know it sounds
Aw.
crazy to believe, but that's yeah.
Okay, now I like the movie.
I know. Watch it.
That's all it takes. Don't hurt a spider.
Well, folks, you can't say we're not honest around here. You get a little bit of everything. You get we love, we get hate, you get in-betweens. You get a little everything because we're just being who we are. We're just hanging out, having a good time. I look forward to Tuesday every week because of that. They're like family to me, and it's the best. And I hope you guys enjoy your week. Everything goes well for you guys out there. Chat, you're amazing. Scott, I can't thank you again. Another generosity. It's just incredible. I thank you so much for that. All the people that are out there supporting me, helping me. All you members are out there. Remember, members, you guys have access to all those videos I'm talking about. I got like 2 weeks of videos now, all backlogged and caught up now to get ahead before I go. And I think Loki knows, but yeah, I'm going on a hunting trip. So I'll be gone for a week. And yeah, that'll be an adventure. Me in the woods.
Get spiders?
Maybe spiders. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little chilly we in like northern Alabama, so it might be cooler for that kind of. I'm not too worried about most things. They do have like they have some cats and stuff that I had to kind of stay alert for, but it'll be. I think it's archery season. I don't think it's not gun season for deer. So it'll be a fun trip. We'll see. But folks, great stuff. Next week, a crazy. You think this movie was crazy? Look, you've seen Death Rate 2000, please, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Am I the only one that hasn't? Again?
Well, I know there's no way you've seen it. I actually purposely picked this one over Rollerball because I know like it will be a fun. It's another racing.
I haven't seen Rollerball either.
No, there's no way.
Which Rollerball?
The original.
Which
one. There's only
okay.
one. There's only one Rollerball. I'm not watching the other one. I'm not watching.
There is another one.
No, I don't even acknowledge that it exists. I have no idea what kind of multiverse you're talking about. I'm sick of all these. We were talking about how we're going to do a thing on Fright Night, and I'm like, did you watch the second? And yeah, I'm never watching it again. They do total. No, I'm not watching that again.
Fright Night?
It's a remake. It's
crap. That's right.
It's just garbage.
I'm thinking Monster Squad.
No, yeah, there's only one Monster Squad. No, I don't know what else is out there in the ether. I'm not even acknowledge that it exists, but yeah, Death Race 2000, Sylvester Stallone, David Carradine. It's all good. It's going to be fun to get Squeeka's reaction to that nonsense, 100%. So be here for that. Then we head into more like we get a little Halloween, get a little Scooby Doo. We haven't done. I don't think we did a Scooby Doo last year. I think we did Scooby Doo 2 years ago, right? Ironcaster. I think it was a couple years ago.
Maybe. Yeah. I think we did the previous one. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island.
We did Zombie Island, but I don't remember if it's last year before. So we're doing the Witch's Ghost this time, and then we have Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I can't wait for Squeeka to watch that one. Holy cow! You love that type of stuff. Make sure to see what you think of that movie. So yeah, some good stuff ahead. Lots of fun, always good time. So, but thanks again to all you guys. Make sure you tune in all these different channels. Subscribe to Squeeka just because you can leave green hearts there when the time's right. Make sure you're ready.
There's no content.
One more thing, Squeeka, when you watch Bram Stoker's Dracula and you get to that part, remember me saying this. Ooh, doggy breath. Bad doggy. Bad doggy.
Is it going to be at the end of the movie again?
No, it's not
in the middle of the movie.
Right dead in the middle of the movie. Bad doggy breath. Okay.
Bad doggy breath.
Dear Lord.
Pops knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because I was watching the original Dracula and I was like, oh, they did put some stuff in here that they kind of used from that movie. Oh, okay. This movie was a lot more faithful than I thought. Oh, I see what they. Now you're saying that, like now it's making it weird for me. So.
Because it's going to be this serious scene.
I know.
Where you're like, what's going to happen? And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I hate you, Loki.
Well, every werewolf movie now is going to be like that for her. Every werewolf movie will be like that for her now. So.
Doggy bread. Bad.
Oh, dear Lord. Anyway, folks, listen, you guys have a great week. Be blessed. Until next week, we talk hard. Take care, everybody. I am Pops.
Bob Ross, you'll never see me tripping.